It never would have came out, and it would have got weird.
Whoa, everybody! It's Awestruck Comics Podcast. We're doing it. We're doing it live. Happy Father's Day. We're in it. I
We are
just
recording
started it
this.
because we're just gonna keep talking until might as well just record it.
Yeah,
So
we've been talking the last hour. We're like,
yeah,
oh,
we're
we
like,
got to
let's
be out
start
of
it.
here by a certain time.
Yeah, we
Let's
gotta
go.
start this. I gotta start it. So
We are recording
uh,
this on Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to all you dudes who knock chicks up.
yeah, that's correct. Inadvertently or advertently, is that a word? Uh, yeah. So today I'm gonna hit a show in Cherry Hill that John the NJ Comics stops running. Free show for dads. So that's pretty cool. So he's about buying space. And then I know there's a Mullica Hill Toy Show, which is usually you should go to that. That's pretty good, but it's raining here. It's been a terrible summer so far outside Philadelphia. It's just pretty much
Very
cold and
weird.
raining every
Very,
weekend.
which is better because
High
last
of
summer,
73 degrees.
yeah,
It's like it's so goofy. This week I think
last
it's going to
year
83.
was like
Cool.
95 degrees every day.
Right.
Last year was like I was dying.
Yeah.
So
So let's jump right into ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Plugs this week. Here is so I had a pretty cool week. So the good thing I figured out, I went on a couple forums. I went on some Reddit forums, Reddit, because I was complaining recently on how annoying things were as far as Instagram. I'm taking pictures, I put it in there, I start editing it, and then when it posts, it doesn't post the way I just edited it. I just edited it. So now I figured it out. So if anyone takes photos with their phone, make sure it's off of low battery, because then it'll try to not upload it completely to Instagram. And then the other thing too is, if possible, if you can take it, because it does less changes if you take it in portrait mode. So these I took in portrait mode. This was I did A, Dusty Abel. This is the Bruce Zick, so I'm going A, Z, and then I'm going to go backwards until I cross. I'm doing a once a week content creator, a comic book creator rather. So this is all Bruce Zick. But what I like about it is that it kind of did this like blacklight effect without me doing anything. Like you put it into that, you threw it into like a hyper, their filter for hyper, so that worked, and then I just kind
yeah,
of edited it. So I really like the way this came out. I think it came out really. I think the cover came out great. Um, I love this. I only did a handful of issues. I think he only did like 6 or 7 issues. Some of on Bruce Zick's site. He has this cover you could buy as a poster. So I don't know if he's allowed to do that or not, but hope I don't get him in trouble. But when I posted it, he did a happy face on that. He wrote to me
yeah.
because I posted him before. Um, so that's really, really cool. That was a good time. So,
He both
and
made your day, and hopefully you made his day.
yeah, and then I got a box of this. These are the Dynamite, and I think it was Dynamite. I don't think it was not Dynamite Entertainment. I forget it was called Dynamite something else. I don't think it was called that.
Says dynamic
Dynamite
on the
Enter
box.
Oh yeah, Dynamic Entertainment. So this was right before it like turned into like, Dynamite. Yeah, Dynamic Entertainment
Is that
with like it's such an 80s logo. Right? Look at that
is this
logo.
even before it was dynamic forces?
No, I think it was Dynamic Forces, but I think this is when it was going to start it started to turn, because this predates Dynamite Comics, I believe.
Well, yeah, Dynamite Comics wasn't until like the Red Sonja era.
Yeah.
Like
So,
Dynamite launched with Red Sonja, I think.
but I wonder if this is where, the seeds were planted. But so I grabbed a box of this. Nick actually wrote on he on my Instagram. He's like, I need to grab a box of these. So I don't know if he doesn't have them, or I don't know. Things are in the archive. Who knows?
These are fun. I love the Creator Universe card series. I've had a
Yeah.
set. I've collected them when they came out because to me it was like an extension of Image Comics. Like the idea of like these are like
Anyone
look at
can
this.
create stuff, right?
Anyone can create their own comic. And here's three characters by the Kuberts. Andy Kuberts is very much just looks like, I don't know, a Cersei X-Men style character, very
Sure.
cool.
Yeah.
Joe Kubert in the middle, Tartar, he loves that Conan style
It's
character,
Tor, Conan.
you
It's
know.
John Carter, Warlord of Mars.
But
Yes,
like
correct.
Adam Kubert, Sergeant Major Acre, I'm like, what is this? This is really
Am I
crazy
missing
looking.
something there? Is there like a word? Am I missing? Are we pronouncing it wrong? Is Major Acre like a word? You know what I mean? I
Oh,
feel like
is there
it's a
like a pun?
clever. Yeah, I don't know if there is. I
I
don't
don't
know.
I don't know
I
if
don't think
there
I'm,
is or I don't
I
know if
don't think
there
I'm
is.
smart enough. Or maybe there is. I don't know. I can write to him
You know,
on
it's funny. I've
Instagram.
never thought about it since I
I never
saw
thought
it
about
first
him.
at like, what was I, 18 when this came out, so I didn't have enough world. experience to get puns like
Well, I
that were
don't even know if
outside of
it's meant to
my
be a pun. I think I told you I watched a Riff Tracks the other night, and it was your it's your, which is like a Conan knockoff. It's just been any barbarian knockoff, and it's your, comma, the hunter from the future. And then one of the Riff Tracks guys goes, "We're looking for you. We're looking for your." They're like, you are the hunter of the future, and he's like, "You're the hunter from the future. You're the hunter from the future." And I just lost it.
Roger
I
over
just
under.
lost it
Yeah,
for like
who's on
five
first base?
minutes. I just like, what the fuck? Like, why didn't I that?
You know,
Why? Like, it's just so stupid.
yeah.
It was
Well, if it's
so
not a pun,
stupid.
it could be something like maybe a major acre is like a farming term for like 1,000 acres put together. Like, oh, I got one major acre.
Right, right, right.
I
There's
don't
a
know.
family fusion. But we talked I think yesterday on the phone, we were like, man, what if this was a comic book, dude? Like, what if they had
No.
like just a mashup Kubert book, you
Yes,
know?
I would have
Oh,
taken a a Kubert family presents where we get an
yeah.
anthology series of all these characters. Yes, that would have been phenomenal.
Yeah. This actually got posted. I forgot to screenshot. I'm so mad I posted this. And then I tagged Conan the Barbarian official, and this got reposted. This
Oh, cool.
post. So this post here, which was basically, it was actually a combination because I was like, I'm behind on my Ohatmu, and this was the, and then so there's actually three different versions of this. This was the one that came out in 1985, I believe,
All
kind
right.
of right when then the Conan universe or Marvel universe. This was an insert with an Ernie Chan cover in a Conan saga in like 1988. And then this was the reprint. And both of the reprint and the original have it says by colors by Steve Malore. And I don't know which one is the real colors. I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand. Like, I feel like this is probably the original colors, but like, why did they do this? What's happening?
I
This
don't
is
know.
worse. So anyway, um, let me switch share. I'm gonna switch to share to comic. And then your stuff. You have fun. You have a
Hey,
fun week.
yeah, this is the Rob Messick Twitter page, X for those who want to say X. Yeah, this is the a card sheet for the Youngblood Comic Images card series. Was just they took a bunch of panels of Liefeld's artwork for like Youngblood 1 and 2 and just colored it horribly. But the cool thing was they made this prism set, and this is an uncut sheet that I have. So I just scanned it up
Oh,
and
that's your scan. Oh, that's your actual uncut sheet. I know you told me that you had this.
yes.
Now, how big is that? Is that just like a comic book size page, I
No,
guess, or close to?
it's 6 cards
Okay.
together. It's the size of 6 trading cards. So you can see all of these are from issue 1.
Yeah, this is from, yeah, all these issue one, and then that's the issue one little first page side
Yeah,
panel, which
exactly.
was not colored,
Cor-
if I'm not mistaken.
No, it was colored in the advertisement for the Rob Liefeld Club, which I did not join,
Uh
which I wish I would have because, he actually put out like a couple issues of like a newsletter.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
there is a lot of Youngblood stuff drawn that like never got officially used in the comic.
Is this
Um,
drawing? That Die Hard drawing looks.
that is not in the comic.
I knew it. I
Yeah,
knew it.
yepper.
And then this was really fun.
This is cool.
Uh,
I found the original art also on the Rob Messick Twitter. I found the original art to this McFarlane pinup from Walt Simonson's Superman special from 1992, which is a great special.
mhm. I love
Um,
that special.
when I
They
first
didn't know what
saw
to do with
this,
it. They didn't know what to do with it. It was just kind
no,
of like, and then it was kind of floating for a while, and then they're like, it's kind of out of continuity. Here it is. Like it just kind of came out,
but like
you
there's
know.
other pinups in it that are great, that are great. But I was such a McFarlane fan as a kid. McFarlane might have been the main reason I picked it up because this is before Superman died. In fact, remember when Superman died? People are like, oh, maybe it wasn't Superman died because the story is a retelling of the Sand Superman,
Yeah,
the
right.
special. So people are like, oh, maybe it's the Sand Superman that died, and everyone's like, yeah, no, it's the real Superman's dead.
Yeah, and then
So
this color, and I asked you because of this because I was like, this color is from what? Like this color is from.
yeah,
You
yeah, I'd
said
even
that was
check.
a scan or
Yeah,
that
that was a
was,
scan. That is an image I had found online,
huh?
and it's beautiful, and it's better than like me trying to scan the comic doesn't look this good.
Right.
And I didn't even check to see if it was on a DC app. This is just something I found online randomly, and it looks great.
Yeah, that looks really fun.
It's neat to see McFarlane draw Superman. It's not his most strong character to draw, but I'd be curious to see
Well,
a little more.
yeah, he only drew Superman in Invasion.
Correct.
And he drew so many other characters in Invasion, but then he was already. I wonder if he knew he was out. I wonder if they knew because I saw today I was looking up Bart Sears posters because
That's
Bart
what we
Sears
do.
had. Yeah, I want to get something. I'm trying to fill out this one wall downstairs. I'm trying to figure out what I want to put up on there. I have a Spider-Man 1, I have a McFarlane Spider-Man 1 green cover up that looks really good, but I'm trying to figure out like I'm gonna put two other images and it's like I can't figure it out. Like I was looking at the Joe Quesada Batman, the Asbats
Mhm.
that's exclusive to that, but I don't know. It doesn't resonate as heavy. I want three images that I think feel like I've seen. And also there's a X-Men Man of War poster, but it's 20 by 30. It's not 24 by 34, which means I have to put, if I put that there, I have to find another 20 by 30. Ah, the struggles of
Yeah.
living on your own and walls and art and what do I do and how do I put and I like to have my dad was over the other day and I was showing him different art I have on the wall which is like either exclusive. I have the cable ad art, which is not in anything, the cable like,
Yeah.
with the gun and there's like the fiery eye. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's
So,
gorgeous.
so I have a certain thing. I have a Joe Jusko Kill Raven, which I have no idea what it's from. I still don't know. I think it's from a card set that came out later that I don't have.
As
Um,
as time goes along, this Twitter page of mine will always have something new and different. Like those cable images, I will share one day. The Joe Jusko
yeah.
thing, I will come to share. In fact, I have another McFarlane Superman pinup that he never finished, and it's from
Mm,
like looks like a couple years before. It's a pretty different McFarlane,
mm,
but it's not
right.
quite like Invasion McFarlane. And one of the things that always funny to me is that when people draw Earths in their pinups, like that is no Earth that I. Those are no continents that
I
align
don't
with.
know. Yeah,
And
is
it's
that
not the first time
Africa?
McFarlane's done that. He's just made up. No, there's nothing.
Yeah.
That's so. I mean,
Splotches. Yeah,
here's the no prize. It's an alien planet because he's Superman. He's in space. Doesn't have to be Earth, but
right.
clearly
Right.
it was meant to be Earth. There's
Yeah,
a
nobody drew like this. But the reason I mentioned the Bartiers thing is that they had an invasion. They have what is what are they called? Inquisitors or what's
yeah,
the big
the
guys?
Dominators.
Dominators. So it had a Dominator, but it was a Dominator guy with his hand out. It's not kind of like this. And I was like looking at it, I'm like, this is not anywhere. This is a Bart Sears drawing that's not anywhere.
Hmm.
It's an exclusive, like and it looked like Mars Attacks because the invasion
Yeah.
logo looked different. I'll have to find it, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. Send
It
that to
looked
me.
different. I'm like, what the heck is this? I was like, I don't know what this is.
That's
So,
neat.
yeah, that's really fun.
I love
But
that.
now,
I love all that stuff. McFarlane drew Invasion 1 and 2 while he was drawing Amazing Spider-Man when it was going bi-weekly. So McFarlane says if there's one correction he wish he could do is go back in time and finish Invasion. He feels like such a loser for not finishing that 64-page, three-issue miniseries while drawing Amazing Spider-Man bi-weekly. And what's sad about that is, can we get a comic a year from McFarlane? No, but in like the late 80s, we could get 60
three.
pages, 70 pages a month at one
Right.
point. I mean, yeah, it almost broke him. Now, McFarlane says, he's got that Spawn 77 comic he wants to do.
Mhm.
Well, he says for Spawn 400, he would love to uh, take that 77 original 40 pages that he drew when he was 16. He goes, I'd love to ink it and color it and show people what I can do today with old work. He goes, maybe in Spawn 400, that's what I'll do. I'm like, yeah, that's a cool idea, but maybe also make like a facsimile edition. Like, what if you'd actually publish it in 77,
Yeah,
print it
yeah,
on
yeah.
like shitty paper,
Like
get
graphic
like,
fantasy that didn't
yeah,
Larson did,
yes,
right?
that would be
Which was
exactly
crazy because
great.
I think I got them in dollar bins and I was losing it because I like went through and saw it and I'm like, holy shit, is this the graphic fantasies like that came
This the
out?
original?
Because if that's what it feels like. But I'm looking at it, but then it was like 6.99. I'm like, I guess not. Well, it's a dollar for me because it was a dollar book. I was like,
No,
holy fuck,
those are great finds.
those
I
are
had the,
good dollar books.
as you know, I had the originals,
Mm.
which I had bought years ago, kind of at good prices, and then sold them for many thousands of dollars.
Oof.
They're still they,
Jesus.
and the only reason I sold them is because I'd gotten wind that he was going to do a reprint set. I'm like, oh crap, if he's doing reprints, that's going to kill the value on these originals.
Yeah, yeah, get rid of
But
it.
it
Yeah.
didn't.
No, no,
No,
because they're really rare. I mean, they're super rare.
yeah,
So,
he printed them himself on his dad's printer in like his office, you know, and like he happened to have a color printer, but he had to put those covers through four times with four different sets of colors because it only could print one color at a time. So
mm,
that's why they're all like unaligned and look like garbage.
that's crazy.
But still, you got to admire what he did for that. So,
Yes. So
so let's start.
jumping into news of the week, everybody. News of the week. So far, I mean, first off, I know there's only one issue of Imperial. I was in the comic shop yesterday, and the owner was talking about it. Final Boss in Lawrenceville. Plug Floyd was talking about it, and he did really well with that book, and it got to be a really, and he said something I thought was interesting. He's like this woman was like, I don't know anything about the Marvel, space cosmic stuff. And they're like, yeah, he'll write it for you along the way. Like he's like, the story will be told to you along the way. You'll get it.
Right.
And I don't think that's wrong. I think that's correct. Like if you read that, you're not like, who's Nova? Who's this guy? You kind of know who Star-Lord is, so it's like, um, but I like that they're doing these one shots, not like, because again, how many right now with one world under Doom,
Right.
there's like 7 miniseries right now. Like that's crazy, like how many series, and I was like, I don't want any of them. Like I didn't read the main book, and I think the
I
main
don't.
book's supposed to be kind of good. That's where
It,
RB Silva is apparently. I forgot that he's doing
okay.
that.
Well,
We asked last week
maybe
we were
when
talking
he's
about it.
done, he can hop on Amazing. I think
Yes.
Ramita's not doing the next. I thought he was doing the whole arc, but I think I saw someone else's name on the book who I
No, Michael
recognize.
Dowling's doing it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Mike Dowling.
Who's
So I
that?
think that
Remind me.
Mike Dowling did a book called Clean Room for Vertigo. He also did some work during the Brand New Day stuff here and there. He worked for Joe Kelly.
Did he?
Uh,
Where's he been the last 15 years?
I don't know. Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
I mean, that's just us doing no research.
I think he's like kind of a mainstay probably for like a lot of other Onis and stuff. Like he's more of a minor artist. I think he might have some creator own stuff. So, but yeah, so I'm happy with this. Give me a Nova one shot. Got the
No, I'll
bomber
take.
jacket.
We'll take no.
Yes,
Yeah, bomber
please.
jacket.
Bomber
We need it.
jacket with
That's Bob Harris
in
Avengers.
space. Is that really going to be? It wouldn't some of that fur kind of catch on fire? Who cares? Doesn't matter.
Doesn't
Doesn't
matter.
matter. Can't. No one can hear anything in space, but that's fine.
Also,
You can.
he has like the Nova costume. Doesn't the Nova powers keep him warm? Is he like, oh, a little chilly in space today? And then you put on my bomber.
I'd
Yeah.
love it. I think it looks cool. I like
No, it
all of
looks
these
cool.
designs, And then, what then they're going to use uh,
So they're exiles. Is that what I
with
heard?
that sorry. They're exiles, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's going to be that. The Undead Iron Fist. Um Will Spartaccio cover, right?
I'll take that.
Will Spartaccio did so if you go back to the Iron Fist 40th anniversary one shot, which had okay stories throughout. It wasn't great, but the last story
It,
there basically is going to
it
be
was
the
no,
prelude
it was no
to
giant
this.
size amazing. That's for sure.
No, no, it was not. So I'm pretty curious on this, and that says Fran Gallen drawing it, but I know who Fran Gallen is in my head, but I can't see. I would prefer Fran Gallen to get a cover. Give me a cover C. You have a Philip Tan
Hey,
cover.
go back a page. One more. Isn't that weird that that shoe ad there kind of looks like the Run comic we showed last
Oh
week,
yeah,
the Mark Miller's Run
oh
that
that's
I
right.
had on my
Yeah,
Twitter? Just, I mean, it's a shoe ad. It's just what else can you do with the shoe?
yeah, that's it.
Just
You
you
can
could
have it just like that. So it looks like it's running. It's
look like
about
it's
to
about to
run.
run. Yes.
It's
Just
about to
funny.
run. But I'm curious on this. I mean, I like. I've liked a lot of Iron Fist series, throughout. You basically have had, Claremont Byrne, right?
Gorgeous.
You had the Robert E. Brown two-issue miniseries.
Right.
Then
You had
there might have been,
The Power Man
oh
Iron
yeah,
Fist is like the best duo put in this made in the
Jim
70s. Like,
Owsley, Christopher Priest,
yes.
M.D. Bright, which was pre-Quantum and Woody, Quantum and Woody. Yeah. So I don't know, I mean, I feel like, and I haven't read any of it. I don't know if it is it might not be the Werewolf by Night Red Band. They don't have, is, are they even putting out a regular version of that or it's just Red Band?
I don't
So it's not on the Marvel app, I don't believe.
Yeah, I wasn't reading it. I can
I'd be
tell you.
curious. I want to read, Jack Russell. Um,
Damn,
but
Russell.
I like this costume. It just seems very unnecessary, and I like it. I like how much extras in it, and I wonder if Will's is like the you know
The
creator of the
designer.
costume.
It's
We've
very ornate. I don't know.
I
It's
love it.
neat.
I love it. Love this arm. I like this. You got a grifter heavier. I don't know. It looks
That's
neat.
right. It's like
But
a
you had the fraction one. You had the fraction Brubaker. David
which is a
Haha.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Then it went to what do you call with the undead weapons or there's a lot of like cool spin-offs from that. Cellverse. Cellverse grows with new series, the Cowboys of Moo Mesa. I wonder how. Who's the main guy? Is it Brian Volk-Weiss?
Yeah,
I wonder if he's doing it because he just loves making toys.
could
Like
be.
this seems kind of crazy. Like here's three toys, the
Right.
$105. Um, they're way better than the old toys. Here's the old toys. The old toys look really cheap and kind of bad. But
Yes.
there seemed to be a lot of merchandising. I looked this up. There seemed to be
I'll
a
tell you
lot
what,
of stuff.
they
Did
get
you watch
into
this? I don't know what
no,
this came
no,
out
I
in
never watched it.
92. So we
92
were
mark,
15,
14 and
16.
15. Yeah, something like that. 92, I turned,
Whoops.
yeah. We got middle of your birthday, so it's like, how old were you in 92? Well, I was 15 for half the year and 16 for the other half,
Yeah, yeah,
you know?
yeah,
And your birthday is only a month before mine, so you're right in that same boat.
yeah.
Yeah, I never watched this. I was like, I never would have watched this.
Yeah, I don't think so. But
It doesn't hit any of my, not a huge Western fan or cartoon Western fans or anthropomorphic cows fans, just not into milking in any way. It's like, I'm good.
yeah, but I mean,
But th
he's
but
grabbed
these
so
newer toys,
many things. Yeah, the toys look cool. I mean, they look good.
well, then why
Um,
isn't he doing Zen? He should be doing Zen. Mark and I were having a conversation about the
oh
origin
yeah.
of Zen earlier. Steve Stern and how like he did some horror comic magazines. He did some horror
Mhm.
magazines like Creepy and Eerie, I think in the 70s, and then went into like management or marketing. But then he like finds an artist in his town and then, it just creates Zen the Intergalactic Ninja, which is a very interesting property because he was everywhere except in comics. Like he had like
Yeah.
video games and toys and we were like we weren't
Well,
even
I just
reading
got
it,
that for $1. It was a
which
Sam Keith cover. But is
which
this
is
the
what
first?
started the
Oh
conversation.
no, this is not. No, it can't be the first appearance because they like the back cover.
No,
I mean,
no, the first
they had
appearance was like,
Konami. Like Konami has a video game coming out for Game
yeah.
Boy and the main line. So I mean,
What you have is
he
probably the
put
first
himself
like
out.
90s comic because they did some independent black and white stuff, and then he made a deal with Archie to get Archie to produce Zen comics. Remember that? Because Archie was also doing Turtles at the time.
Dude, there's a Mike Mignola pinup in this.
Yes,
What the hell?
and Jay Lee pinups.
A
And
dollar.
yeah, no, that's a great book. Is that the pinup book or is that the one with stories? Because he used that
This
cover.
has the main story. Yeah.
Okay.
But I
No,
think
he got,
there is a pinup book, yes, that I know has a Jay Lee in it.
oh, it's got great stuff in it, dude. Really good. And I didn't never cared about Zen. I didn't know anything about him. I just knew he looked cool. And, it was like cool to look at, but none of us read Zen.
Yeah, it's got a embossed, you know. Pretty
Yeah.
cool. Pretty cool.
Pretty,
Um,
pretty.
pretty. So I looked this up and I tried to see if there was any cool artists in this, and there wasn't. Like, because I know that
The
wasn't there like an alligator
turtles,
guy? Wasn't
uh,
that what was the alligator guy? Like there was an alligator
from Turtles?
hunter. Nah, there was an Archie book. It was an alligator like hunter guy, which I think was a cartoon too. And Amanda Connor, that was like her first art. Um,
Before you go on to that, the Archie Turtles run, though we think of it as kid comics, had like Bill Ray artwork, Bob Fingerman artwork. It had a Milton
it,
Knight artwork. It had all these like independent guys because Archie's like, we just need artists.
well,
So
yeah, I mean, and I think that book sold really well for Archie. I mean,
it
that sold
sold
really, really
sold
well.
really well. In fact,
Yeah,
not that Archie ever needed help because back then they were the smart people to put their Archie comics in like Acme's and ShopRites and supermarkets. So they were always selling their digest versions, which really helped bring people into buying their comics. Um,
which were not new, wasn't new material for the most part.
I
It was
don't know. I thought it
it
was
was
a mixture.
repackaged. It
It
wasn't
was,
extra. It was repackaged Pep Comics and just stuff.
yeah.
So crazy. So they would put out mainline for, stores and direct market and then just kind of repackage it over and over and over again. Even what they
So
have now, like they have like 100-page giants and it's just all repackaged. Whatever, who cares,
it's fine. Those comics are immortal. Like even if you could tell the book was written in the 60s or 70s, the stories still apply to today in weird ways. The neat thing about this Cowboys and Moo Mesa, which is like they must have went with Archie just because Turtles was at Archie or Zen was at Archie or eventually
Mhm.
Sonic goes to Archie. Like Archie had a thing for these
Yeah,
types of
that's right.
characters.
Zen went to Archie. Zen had an Archie counterpart book.
Yeah,
Crazy.
the Cowboys and Moo Mesa. Too funny. I totally forgot about this.
Yeah, I forgot. I don't know. That's fine. Would you
And you know
believe
what?
cowboy cows? No, I don't.
No, that seems like,
No,
but like the horses are
no, I
animals.
don't.
Like the
Yeah,
cows got humanized, but the horses
that's
are
right.
still
The horses
horses.
are animals. The horses are horses. Sorry, guys.
You think there's cows in this universe too? Are they eating themselves?
Oof, I hope not.
Yeah.
Okay, so listen. I know I have Alex Ross behind me. This wasn't on purpose. I know that the Legend of Kingdom Come, I believe, is on rent now. I believe you can. It was a Kickstarter and then all that stuff, and you could buy the Blu-ray. But now I believe it's on there, so I hope to maybe I'll rent that. But I think like I don't know. I want to watch that, but now he got contracted again. And the thing I don't like about these is Alex Ross timeless covers for September 25. The thing I don't like about these is that this is just a half drawing.
Yes.
There is a complete drawing that he's doing, and then he puts out, I believe, either a poster or a calendar or something, and he has the full thing. I also believe when you look through these, I grabbed each one, and I also don't like that it shouldn't be called timeless because it's literally just Alex Ross's timeless because it's his like version of what he wants, his brain of the 70s and early 80s, the
Yeah,
Bronze Age. It's his.
you're right.
All the interpretations here are just the Bronze Age interpretations. That's it.
Dazzler has never looked like this again. In fact, they go out of
No.
their way to make her not look like this. Just like
And
they
I
go out of
I
their way to
also
make
hate,
her. But
yeah, go ahead. So I
no,
hate
they
that
also
that that
go on.
that none of these issues really correlate. This is a Wolverine comic. I'm sorry, it's female Wolverine comic.
I'll see. There you go.
Dazzler cover. You know what I mean?
Tens.
So it's just going to spike that because you know that Liefeld's buying these. People are buying these, so it's going to spike that. And I guess that's good, I guess. But like, I think when they come out, you can't. It doesn't. I don't even think it says like what the book is. Just like this cover. I think it's just a Virgin cover. I think too, or it's like a really small Laura Kinney like Wolverine. Laura Kinney Wolverine. What the fuck? Is that a better? That's good. That sells better. You mean tell me that Wolverine name on there would sell better if it wasn't called X-23? How many extra copies are buying this?
I don't know, Mark. Marvel is a mess right now.
I think he needs. I feel like he got like a mousier model because and there we're just going to do Samuel L. Jackson. We're just going to do Samuel L. Jackson model. We know what Samuel L. Jackson looks like. All right. There's other black people you could model. Okay. There's already a Samuel L. Jackson model. He's Nick Fury. All right. Um, I think that's great. I think what's so funny about this?
But
This is very specific. This is like a George Tuska chest. So this is Alex Ross like saying like, all right, well, who's the best Kazar artist? Is it Gil Kane? Maybe. Is it like this is right in that line. If you go back to Astonishing Tales, Kazar, Lord of the Jungle. This is not Kazar the Savage. This is Kazar, Lord of the Jungle. Okay.
sorry, it's
So this
Kazar
is
Abs Day.
it's yeah, never don't skip Abs Day. Speaking of which, have you seen, I'll have to send you this one
I did skip Abs Day this week, Mark. You're right. I'm
I
sorry.
skipped
Mark
Abs
is my
Day
weight
for
training.
20 years.
Mark is my weight training guru.
There's a new AI trend of videos, and it's what if X has a cell phone in time. So there's a guy doing like he's like, hey, what's up, fam? Uh, and it says like the day Pompeii. It's like Pompeii, blah blah blah. And there's a volcano. It's like oh, beautiful weather today, and then it shows like later on the day, and it's all just like lava. There's a
Right,
Jesus one with Teen Jesus, like Teen just walking around basically. There's a Batman one, Batman and Superman, like in the Batmobile, and then they go to work out, and they're like, and Batman's trying to give him, he's like, don't skip leg day, and he's like, I just fly, I don't need to do this, like, and yeah, some pretty good videos. They're pretty funny.
right.
But yeah, this is for all new Spider Gwen the Ghost Spider. How many? Shrink it, shrink it. All new Spider Gwen the Ghost Spider. Come
How
on,
many
man.
names do you need?
Black Cat 2,
Hmm.
Zabu. But okay, so
I
here,
know those teeth are right.
see this? So this mousy nose is on this character as well. So he has a model, and then like really
Ah. Oh
close.
my goodness. Yeah.
So if you're going to put a press release out, break these covers up. Don't let me do this because this is literally in there. All right.
Oh my
So
God. Yeah.
you did it. There we go. Same thing here. This is just a mouse. It's the same mousy nose looking down. At least this is
Wow.
exceptional
What are
X-Men,
you
so
looking
I'm
for,
okay.
Mark? You looking for some huge honkers? You're like, is this?
Well, yeah, I do like
I like.
just go back through my women's. Yes, I do like prominent noses. That's how I like it.
That's
Um,
right.
and then this is also probably this is correct because it is Imperial War Exile, so it is a Professor X, but it's like, didn't we have there's no Professor X? I thought there was one, and I find it hard to believe that there wasn't one in the last like mural, but maybe that's right. Um, I like this. See, this is the stuff. This is the Alex Ross stuff that I really like. Like look at how crazy that is. Like the just the lighting, the dynamic lighting, and having like the chest. Like the chest
I
is almost like concave. Like it's otherworldly. This is
I
alienish. It's really
enjoy
cool.
him
Oof.
bringing a sense of realism to the unrealistic. Like the parts of Havoc's costume that they would never put in a movie, like his ridiculous head attire and African neck links.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that.
But I love
There's
this. I love
yes,
this.
no. It's bringing the stupid to reality, and that's what's fun.
Right. And I guess they're not gonna put this is gonna be on magic number 9. Okay. You know. Same thing here. I think the luminance, but you can tell it's the same model. It's the same little mousy nose.
It's fun.
This is a terrible costume, terrible hair,
Yeah,
and
this
I
is the
think it's
rogue
cool.
nobody likes.
Nobody likes, but I kind of like that. He's like, well, I'm going with it. You know what
Do
I
you
mean? Like
talk
I'm
about?
going with it.
Did
This is
you do?
this is the rogue that was in like Rom. This
Yeah.
is, what I'm saying? Like, and, and,
Hmm.
and Dazzler. The two issues of
Right, right.
Dazzler and Rom that are worth money are like early rogue
It's like
appearances.
Kate Mulgrew looking uh
Yes.
Star Trek Voyager rogue. Hey, do
Yes.
you talk about the J. Scott Campbell swimsuit covers later at all?
No.
All right. Well,
No.
he does four covers, and it's Rogue, Black Cat, Mary Jane. I forget the other one. But the Rogue one's it's kind of funny. Milligan was telling me his original pencils, like she's wearing a Rogue jacket, but
Mhm.
like in the pencils, she's not wearing a bikini top underneath. It's just the Rogue jacket. And Marvel's
Oh,
like,
I see.
oh, you got to put in a bikini top. So of course he did, you know.
Yeah, yeah. No, I hear
But
that. Like
he
when
didn't want
I
to.
watch my brother's like live streams, and when he has to send covers in, they'll make him change stuff. They'll do a cover sketch in, and then they make him change stuff. So, and some stuff's stupid. Like there's a April O'Neil that he did recently, and like it wasn't risque. She was eating pizza, and they're like, you have to have the pizza at a different angle or something goofy, like so dumb. Uh, Sunfire here looking fine. It's fine. There's your boy. It's
I
your boy. I
I
like
love
this.
Thunderbird,
This
dude.
looks because this looks it looks like a cockrum. It looks like what I mean. It's like a
Yes,
lean. It has a certain
and
stature to it.
it is the 50th anniversary of Giant Size X-Men this year. So this one's a little more important to me.
Yeah, yeah. I like that. So
I
I
always
knew
wanted to
you'd love that.
write. I always wanted to write a what if Thunderbird had lived? Because like you imagine like a what if where it's like let's go through Dark Phoenix, let's go through Proteus. Where is he in Days of Future Past? Like, is it
Mhm.
important? Like, it's an interesting character.
Yeah,
It's still shocking to me that they killed him off like two issues in.
yeah, yeah. I think that was all for effect. It was all for. I mean,
No,
they
he
eventually have to come back. So because he
eventually.
comes
You
back
mean like two
when?
years ago? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's literally the last X-Men to come back from death. They do it during the Krakoa
Didn't
storyline.
Brubaker? Yeah, but didn't Brubaker do something with that Deadly Genesis, or that wasn't, or that was an extra character. That was like a new old character.
He didn't do anything
I don't
with them, did
remember.
he?
No, I don't remember. I thought the Deadly Genesis had something to do with like Giant Size X-Men 1, sort of.
It did. It was like, but it was like the team that like he formed before the new X-Men. Was it
And
like
then
here's
and then
a
killed him.
and
Yeah,
then
I think
killed him?
so.
Because that's where we got Darwin.
Right, right.
Who was like probably the biggest character to come out of that. Did they put a? Yeah, it was just Darwin.
Yeah.
Darwin. That was a stupid
Uh,
dolphin on Sequest. Darwin, help.
Sequest. Oh my God. I forgot about that. That's so bad. Uh, So this is a goofy story. I really hate this story. So Dynamite asked the court to order Diamond to pay. So I believe there's already pre-money that is owed to Diamond. I think it's like almost 1.5 million. And then this is that they haven't paid him for the last couple months of things. It was, I believe, April, May distribution. So they owe him another 500,000. So, listen, I think this is where the comic industry kind of sucks.
I think I
Like,
think comic companies need to pay COD. I think Diamond needs to pay comic companies on COD.
right. Didn't Diamond just stop COD? Why would you
Yeah,
stop that? I think that's
well,
confusing to me.
Diamond has to stop it because people scam the COD. Ugh, this is getting confusing to people. All right, listen.
Mm,
So if you're a comic store and you start having a couple late bills to Diamond, they'll put you on a COD program, which means you have to pay cash on delivery,
mm.
which is a really rare thing. People don't really do that anymore because we have credit cards and online, everything's online.
Right, right.
So what some comic book stores would do, and I know this for a fact, UPS got here, they would take they would get order 10 boxes of stuff, but the COD would only be on one box. So the comic store would be like, oh, we'll save this one for tomorrow or save it for the next one. So we would have to deliver the other nine. And then the comic store would like sometimes they would refuse the COD after a couple days or a couple
Mhm.
tries, and it's real
And then
scummy. Then that
hope that box sucks. Hopefully that box doesn't have the good shit in it. You know what I
right,
mean?
hope that box doesn't have all your exclusives and variants and important stuff.
Right.
So so Diamond's finally stopping the COD program, which is they probably should have gotten rid of it 20 years ago.
Mhm. Yeah.
Honestly. But simultaneously, my joke is maybe comic book companies should be shipping their books from the printer to Diamond COD.
Mhm.
Because Diamond
Right.
has to distribute them. It's being shipped from the printer. Maybe these comic book companies need to be paid up front, because this isn't
It's
working.
crazy. Yeah.
And
This is
and this
crazy
is
to me.
what ruined the industry in the 90s. When Diamond took over all the other comic companies, there were like what, 10 distributors at the time, four of which were super important. They go out of business. Well, that's a couple months of comics that they've sold that
Mhm.
now they don't pay those comic companies, which then made comic companies go out of business, which made comic stores go out of business.
Right.
It's all a ripple effect. And it's all based upon, what I see as like this credit situation. People are keeping the money where they shouldn't be. And right now, Diamond's keeping the money from the comic stores that should be going to the publishers. And it's messed up.
It's really weird. And like the thing that I don't like about this, and I put it on here, is that the response from Diamond was this. Dynamite has not demonstrated that it will suffer any hardship should it not receive immediate payment. You know what this sounds like to me? It's like a rich uncle. It's
Yeah.
like, well, I owe my uncle money, but I'm not going to pay my uncle money because I like look at the house he lives in, look at the car he drives. It doesn't fucking matter. And listen, I don't know. I would imagine if this is the response, this is like Diamond like saying like, well, let's see your books. Fuck you, because if it's entered into that, it has to be public. So what? So what? Nick's got to show his fucking books. Fuck off. Like, you know what I'm
No,
saying? Like,
Nick's Nick's got a
and
bunch of people
why?
to pay, artists, writers, inkers,
Right. But
letterers, publishing
how is this
fees.
a response? Like, how is this a fucking, that's a real response. That's a real lawyer wrote that. Diamond has not demonstrated that it will suffer any hardship should it not receive immediate payment.
So
Oh, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
what do we have to do?
It's a
Like, I
scum.
don't know what
It's
has
it's
to
a
be done.
scumbag city thing to say, and I don't know if you address it later, but now I think Zenoscope's like pulling from Diamond.
They did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
and it's the
Yep.
same thing. Like nobody's getting like, why are we? Diamond wants to stay a company. Well, how are you going to stay a company if you're still not paying the people who are loyal to you?
Yeah,
Dynamite,
well, like
Dynamite has been
during
loyal
the
to you.
pandemic, they had what was it? I forget what it was called. The initiative was like, "We'll be back" or something like that. Like it was like, "Hey, pencils down, shit." You know what I mean? Like the comic industry kind of stopped. They didn't completely stop making
Which,
books, but they trimmed way back, and
well,
we thought we
that
weren't
was
going to
the
be going.
bad call because
Yeah.
people needed comics more than ever during that time.
Well, that's why the aftermarket did great. We did great on that. So, yeah. So on industry, like this is shit. So hopefully, I think I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know what the right answer
what's
is.
Dynamite doing? Like, what's Diamond doing with Dynamite's money? What are they doing with it? They're getting paid. Comic stores are paying them
They're paying a lawyer to write. They're paying a lawyer to write something. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
to write snarky replies.
yeah, it just sucks. It sucks.
Yeah.
IDW plans Twilight Zone anthology in black and white. IDW. There's some good people attached to this. I think it's kind of neat. Creators
Yeah.
for future issues includes Tom Scioli for number two,
We love it.
James Stocco number three, Nate Powell number four, Francesca Francovilla number five.
That's
So
like
yeah, so what's been
that's the who's who of people that and your boy Dan Waters for number one.
Jaboy?
Like
Oh yeah, yeah. I
so
forgot.
like yes, these are exactly who we want in a Twilight Zone comic. Have we gotten
It,
a recent Twilight Zone comic? Do you remember getting the now ones in the late 80s, early 90s?
I only ever got a now one that I thought that Tony Harris struck rather than like a dollar bin or something, but he didn't just did the covers,
Just to the cover. Because we got like what? JMS. We had Straczynski stories in there. I think we got a
Mhm.
Neil Adams story in one of them. Now Comics is an interesting dive.
Yeah, IDW is doing what? Who has the EC books?
Oni.
Okay. See, I feel that Oni, I think they just had more layoffs this week, but there was a story on that.
That's
So, or
unfortunate
no, it was Boom. I think it was Boom.
because
Boom had,
Their EC style books are great.
yes, but I think the biggest mistake with those books is no one knows they're EC books.
No, because they're new titles. They're EC style. They're EC books, but they're not like
I know,
official
but
EC
they should have
titles.
paid for the if they I don't know what the agreement is, but if they somehow got Tales from the Crypt that name, the branding, Shock Suspense Store, like if you got the branding name, I don't care. Like I know Epitaphs from the Abyss is not the same thing. It is the same thing, sure. However, in content and style and feel, sort of. I don't know. I think that they should have like pulled the throwback. They should have pushed it heavier. There
Maybe
should have been
they're
like a
not allowed.
heavier on that. I know they're not allowed. Like they can't be. Why wouldn't you? You have to not be allowed. That's the only answer.
Yeah.
That's the only
But
answer.
but
But
you can call yourselves AC, which is, maybe that's the most they could get. Because these books, Mark, they can't be that profitable. They
no,
can't be that. They're nobody's getting rich off these comics. So you probably can't
no.
afford to
But that's
pay
why I don't
for.
know. That's why I don't know if it's. I know, but I just I don't know. There should. I wish there was a backer, like a heavy backer, that they could have done it. You know.
It's hard to be the only people who want to back comics are people who don't mind losing money.
Yeah,
'Cause
or
that's
or
that's
or the license is cheap. Like I can you imagine that the CBS license for Twilight Zone is expensive? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know.
see that should be a handshake deal. Like, hey, we're IDW. We used to we handle Turtles and Star Trek.
Right,
Oh, it's
right.
Paramount, right? So yeah, they
Yeah.
already have a deal with, so it's fine. You're right. The
Did
license
you
to this
watch
is
the
probably
Jordan Peele show?
no,
When they had
no, but I
that?
want to.
I watched the first
It's
episode and it was
yeah, that's
okay.
yeah, I want to. It'll get there.
It's
Um,
over. Was it over? I don't know. I thought it was
yeah,
over.
yeah. I mean, how much is the Creep Show license that Image has?
Right,
Good
right.
for them. And sometimes it's more than just getting a license fee. Sometimes it's a roadmap to getting the property back out there. Um, Liefeld got Battlestar Galactica for nothing,
Mhm.
and when his contract was over, he didn't really want to renew it. But like the interest was back, and they thanked him for that because it got Battlestar Galactica back out there, and that led
Mhm.
to the road to the eventual revamp. Because all of a sudden
Right.
you were getting novels, you got a toy line, that Liefeld wasn't attached to,
Yeah,
but
that
they made Battlestar Galactica toys in the
right, right,
90s
right.
without a
Right.
shell. That's also just the strength of the toy market in the 90s. You could have made an action figure off anything that sold.
Well, I think so much of the marketplace now is, and it also would got Richard Hatch in cons again and money. You know what I mean? Like it's like
Yeah,
we're
no,
all
Richard
pro,
Hatch specifically thanked Liefeld.
and then Richard Hatch was on the new Battlestar Galactica show. But
Yeah,
yeah, I mean it's pretty cool that that power of nostalgia kind of started in that area. Then it kind of I guess it was always kind of there. I mean, now if now was doing Twilight Zone comic books like far away, Innovation did stuff. They did like Beauty and the Beast and shit.
so innovative they were with their licensed properties.
Yeah. I think we covered this before, but I have some editorial on this. So Marvel to Omnibuys, Bill Mantlo and Jim Lee's Alpha Flight. Um, so the only thing that bugs me on this,
Correct.
because it has to, is that
Yeah.
so it's Alpha Flight 30 to 70. Jim Lee has I think 14 issues, not many. So less than it's probably 25% of this is Jim
Okay.
Lee. But why are you doing this? So it's 125. It's a good price. It's 1,200 pages for 125 bucks. Good price. January coming out. This is going to be your cover. This is the worst cover. Okay. It's fine. It's fine.
Hmm.
However, why didn't you put this cover? I know this story is not printed in this book. However, you should have a section in the back. If you put Jim Lee on the cover and Jim Lee as the thing, you put Jim Lee covers,
Yes. Yeah.
in
Hopefully
the
they put
back.
all of the Jim Lee covers
Because
because
they
the
do that with
next,
Larson, sort of. Did they do that with Larson?
yeah, they put some covers from other stuff on there.
Right.
Oh,
So,
they
or
actually with the Larson Omnibus, they went and put the later Larson issues in there. They put the Peter Parker ones he did with Venom,
right.
and yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So so here, then you have to put this cover. Like, you know what I mean? Or you could, I mean, that is a cover. That is an issue that he did.
Hmm.
Um, or put that, and you're not going to put that as your alternate cover. You're not going to put the fucking like Kevin Nolan as the alternate. It's just goofy to me. Like, you have options. You could have done because you did. I think all of the building blocks here, there were four Jim Lee covers in a row. They were all good.
Yeah.
Not that. That's not as I understand this is what he did, but look at that. So if this
Is
61
that the
to
best
89,
cover out of those issues? I don't know.
the 28, n not really. No, there's one or two that are a little bit better, but I just think this would have been more impactful. That's great.
Maybe
You
they're
got
maybe
Puck
they're saving
there.
that for the next one.
Well, that's true. And which he doesn't have anything in, which will be the end
He's
of
got
Alpha Flame.
covers. Oh,
That's
you
the
know what?
end. So
Actually, the variant for that one will probably be like North Star's face, like I'm gay.
yes,
Like that'll
right,
be
right,
in the
right.
next that'll be in the
It's the
next
Mark
omnibus.
Pacella. Yeah, and that's okay. Listen, it's kind of neat that you're essentially going to have you have a burn Alpha Flight Omnibus. This is the next step, and then you're going to have the Simon Furman, uh, Pat
Hey,
Broderick run, which is good.
That
I
Alpha
read that
Flight
when that was
issue
coming out.
106. Did you catch the news article first or get the comic first?
Uh, but that's probably a news article situation. I think so. Yeah, I think that hit. I
I
think
wasn't
that
buying
hit
the
the news
comic, of
article.
course, because it was the 90s by that point. And I saw it on the news. I think it was that Evening Magazine. Remember that Evening Magazine? And they had it
Evening
on there. And I'm like, so the first thing goes through my mind, not that North Star's gay, not that there's a baby with AIDS. No.
Baby with AIDS.
Which, by the way, the story made it seem like North Star had AIDS. No
That's
both.
right.
But like what drew me was like, who the hell drew that? I don't know that artist. And I wasn't aware of Mark Pacella then. I'm just
It
like,
looked
that
like a
guy's
Jim Lee. It looked like a Jim Lee, Will's Portaccio, something.
Liefeld mashup of all
Correct.
three. It was like some
Yeah.
weird, I'm like, who is that? Like that's what I
Right.
took from
Right.
that interview. And then of course I couldn't get the comic, so I had to go get they made a second printing right away, and the second printing is just, they didn't change
I think
anything.
I have it. Yeah, I think the logo. I think the logo color is different. That's it. And then
Okay.
inside it has the second print.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that's all right. So DC Studios, Tom King and Mitch Garrett's Mr. Miracle get adult animation order. I don't know what this means. I'm not sure if they're going to do 12 episodes. They didn't say,
So is
but
this
they put the key
more
art for it, and that's cool.
Kiosk? Now, is this something that'll do good, or do you hope fans will be attracted to it, or is it just like Gunn and Tom King are getting along and he's just like doing it as like a favor almost?
I
Because it
think
doesn't
that,
feel like there's a want
yeah,
or need for this. And though I like this series,
mhm.
I don't, is he
I feel
putting
that.
too much weird stuff into his DC universe?
Well, I think that
He's
this is. I do think this is more niche. I do think that I will like it if they adapt it the way, and just by this key art, by having the VHS ripple stuff here, the dimension ripple stuff here,
Mhm.
they're going to do the Mitch Garrett stuff. I think that I think his stuff is filmable. I think that's why technically the Vision series became WandaVision, right? Like it's filmable. Tom King stuff is filmable. That Supergirl movie is a filmable movie because that story was kind of baseline. It is true grit, and which is why I think that his originality just went away and away and away. This is my favorite work of his. Besides, I think this is number one, Vision number two. I think Omega Man number three, because Omega Man was less constant. I think you're right. It's like he's like the definition of like toyetic, the Liefeld for toyetic. This guy's the definition of like adaptable stuff in a way, right? Whatever that's called. So I feel like that's the difference here. Uh, so we'll see. I mean, I'm it didn't say if it's going to be 12 episodes. I guess it's going to be on HBO Max. What
Right.
is the gist of, because I forgot we talked about it a little bit. What's the gist of the split? The DC, because I didn't
Oh,
pull a
yeah.
story for
I
that.
think the one side, Warner Brothers split into two functioning companies. But David Zaslav is, I believe, taking over the DC Comics, the Warner Brothers Media, the movies, HBO Max, all the stuff we care about. And I think the other company is more like the Sports Net, the CNN. And I'm like, well, but that's your and Discovery, which is crazy to me because David Zaslav, he's like Discovery, that's his baby. So
Right.
he's leaving his baby to stick with the stuff that's possibly more profitable in the future, but also has a higher risk. You
Mm,
know, I don't know. To me, it's just very weird. But like they made a point to say that DC Comics is part of that, and that they have a 10-year plan for Warner Brothers, DC Universe movies, and DC Comics. So I don't know what that means. I
mm.
don't know if that, hopefully David Zaslav isn't interfering in the comics. That DC Comics is actually the better comic company over Marvel right now.
Yeah.
So I hate to see that really get messed up.
Yeah, but it might not. There
Improved.
might
There's
not
always room
be.
for
Yeah,
imp, for things
there
to be
might be
improved,
nothing.
but
Because I feel like what wasn't Feige like kind of in charge of the comics, and then he just doesn't care. He doesn't pay attention to it at
yes.
all.
Yeah,
No,
they made a big deal. Feige's in charge of Marvel Comics, and then
and then they didn't do anything.
as far as we know,
Yeah, I don't
as
know.
far as
Or
we
maybe they
know,
did, and it's just shit.
maybe that's why
Um,
it's gone down.
so this is a little bit of an answer. So Marvel reveals the World to Come number four cover. Well, it's the details. The details were nothing. We just these people guest starred. Uh, but I was like, I don't want this Casada art. It's Jay Lee art. That's a Jay Lee Spider-Man from Sentry, sort of, right? Where's Sentry? Why isn't Yelena here? Okay, Daredevil's there, cool, but not in a Daredevil Casada pose that I want. Why is Valkyrie here? Why is well Cap
Right?
was
Where's Punisher with the Angel guns?
give me Punisher with the Angel Guns, baby. Give me I don't know, just I don't know. I don't know what the series is. I also still think it's very strange. It feels like a very Christopher Priest story and Quesada's first name. Like I don't understand. I don't understand this. I don't understand the concept of it here. So, I don't know. I just don't like this. You know, I prefer the more dynamic Casada style. He seems to be obsessed with this newer style, which maybe he figured out. It just looks like Mike Diodato and Jay Lee. It just looks like a mashup of people that are just fine,
Yeah.
not Joe Quesada, like the fucking like dynamic. There's a Wolverine poster that I might buy and to where it's all white and he's like going like this. You know what I'm talking about? He's jumping.
Yes.
Um, I may get that because I think it's like 22 bucks on eBay. So that's pretty good. But the problem is it's a white poster from the 90s, so it might be not white. Uh, here's some quick toy stuff. I don't know. It's like it's a I don't know who this character is. Was this a cartoon or something? I only grabbed this because it does like a glow in the dark thing. Glow
Yeah,
in the dark.
I do love my glow in the dark stuff.
Imperial Royal Guard. Uh,
Halloween edition. Got it?
Look at all of these pictures of these action figures. I do like this that they're giving you other lightsaber effects as part
Yeah.
of the toys. So that's pretty cool. But look how crazy these look, dude. They look so good. And these are Black Series. So these are 6 inches. That's what she said. Um, but they got the scale. Like it's, I mean, usually when these figures, the scale is not correct. This is the correct scale. So you have a shorter Obi-Wan. Cool. Look at that, dude. Have fun. This
Yeah,
was
that's
like
awesome.
this is really funny because these are Black Series vintage or they're going to be that size, but it's literally for the same fucking figure. And I think this is like $120. Fuck off. Like it's barely they're not different. It's for the same fucking figure. Come on. This is the Batman animated series. Collect to build Jonah Hex. Like I have to buy four. I think it's four. I always love that Jonah Hex
Yeah.
design, but I have to buy four action figures to do it. No, thank you. But I guess it's not too bad. It's not six, but
Yeah.
usually with the build a figure, it's a big fucking figure. So couldn't you just put out five, a line of five, and have Jonah Hex as I can have it? Killer, he's not going to be bigger than Killer Croc, right?
Yeah.
But I do like this. I think this actually looks really
Yeah,
good.
but
That's
the cool
really
thing
good.
about this is at least it's four characters that you would want to buy.
Correct. Here's the gold label Kite Man. Fine. Um, Superpowers, Animal Man with
This one.
cloth. Cool. Didn't they make a cyborg? That's why I don't know why they have another cyborg. I thought there was
Maybe
a cyborg.
maybe he's more accurate.
Yeah. This is just, I think, just a regular Batman, deluxe, Wesley Dodds as Bats. This is like the fourth different one. There already is one. There's a blue one of this already.
Hmm.
So they're doing it again. This is Batwing version 2. This is, I need to see this if I can get better pictures. This was on a live stream. This is the Troika outfit, which was the Kelly Jones. So, but it
Okay.
doesn't really look like, and I don't know if you can really do it, but this is the Kelly Jones uh Troika costume, which was the black costume that he had for a bit with no underwear. Like no no difference in color. It was just black, black. It looks okay. I gotta see. I
Okay.
like the long ears, but it doesn't really look like Kelly Jones stuff yet. I can't tell. Uh, Metron in a chair.
Yep.
This looked
Deathstroke.
really good. Did you see this? This is the San Diego. I guess they're in a game. They're in this. I don't know.
The game
But
reverse. I don't know.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
cool looking.
Shanna. Oh,
That
hot.
Savage Land Rogue, people love that toy. That toy will sell out.
Yeah. So I like but I like how different, almost unlike the Alex Ross paintings from earlier, you have two very different sculpts
Yeah,
here.
and
Look how
Sauron
good
looks cool as
this.
shit.
Dude, look at that.
Ah,
Look
look at
at
the eye effects. That's
the
neat.
effects that they've been doing are really good and look at that. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
That's fucking awesome. Really good. Really cool looking. This is the Hot Toys. This is limited to 1100. I didn't see this game. I know I bitched about the Spider-Man 1 costume where it has like the white accents that suck. I hate that. I think it looks like
Yeah, yeah.
shit. I don't know. I guess it's something that said finale or something. It said last stand suit. So I guess this is his last thing. But I do like the jeans. The jeans look great. I think this looks great. I imagine this is $150, $200. So I'm not buying it, but I really like the way this
Yeah.
looks. Oh, here's my roundup for all the popcorn buckets. So this is $80.
Right. For a Galactus
Hold
head
on.
popcorn bucket.
I don't think it says anything. Okay. So, and that's not good. I thought I had a better picture. I'll have to put that in there. So I have a Galactus hanging in my hallway downstairs, which you press on and when the batteries still work. This was from the Silver Surfer cartoon series, but it says I Hunger and it's a great figure. And we had it.
Hmm.
We had one at Legends. Yeah. We had one at the store, I
Hmm.
think.
Yes.
So it's not that one, but I have that. This is not one, but I think that's pretty funny.
It
Someone
is
did
funny.
a goofy one. There's a crypto bucket from Regal. You can get a dog bowl. That's kind of funny too. There's another crypto, which is, I guess, barely popcorn. These aren't real functional popcorn things. Um, Alamo Draft House, I think, has kind of the nicest one. They have one, I guess it's him making popcorn. I do like the Daily Planet opening. All of them are kind of expensive, and I kept trying to get prices on some of them, and I have to go through a couple screens, so I just didn't do it. But I don't mind. This was like a kit you can buy from AMC, and you can buy all this stuff.
You know,
So
you know how many of these I'm getting?
zero,
Zero. Because
zero
like
point
I
zero.
love Superman collectibles, but collectibles, not chintzy movie theater garbage.
Yeah,
And, and I'm
it's
not
not
trying to and
good.
I'm not trying to
I like
like
these
listen, man, they're cool looking and I get it.
if they're making money.
And you
Like I
know,
don't even
keep
understand this. Like this is a Herbie popcorn bucket. What's the bucket? It's just Herbie.
just Herbie, just
Where's
put them.
what are we doing? And then like they're like they put this out. They're like, it's where's the popcorn go? What is this?
It
There's
opens
so
up like
many.
a I don't know. Listen, man, for
Uh,
people who love it. And there was a time when I would have loved all this stuff.
yeah,
But now it's like, oh, it's cool, but it's also very expensive for what it is. Like
it is.
that
Yeah,
Galactus plastic popcorn head,
$80.
that's what like a statue used to cost. Like a
Yeah.
nice, fully detailed,
Look,
and it's a nice looking Galactus head.
yeah, my dad was over this week and I showed him the Thor I got, which was $50. And it's great. And it's 360 and you can bend the cape and that's $50. And that's ridiculous value. But a popcorn bucket that's barely there, you know, uh, I don't know. However, I gotta look at it because I don't have anything for my kitchen island downstairs, so I feel like I just have a Galactus head. So dumb. This is kind of popping up. I guess there's a 616 day. They're really fucking this up. They could have really promoted this. So Marvel has a 616
Yeah.
day.
I literally didn't know
Like
about it until like two
I
days ago.
yes, and I'm like 616. Wait, that's Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? Like way
Yeah.
to go. So they have some exclusive covers. Some of the stuff already hit eBay. You got some pins, just bad, not good. You have five variants. One's a book. These aren't even books. These are books that have already come out, I believe. Fantastic Four Fanfare already came out. Avengers 25, I don't know. Amazing Spider-Man 2 already came out. So these are variant covers of books not even from this week. I don't understand. I don't understand. Um, we talked on the phone about this. Hattush is late, and I also
Yeah.
the speculation is first off, it's so bad. We talked about this. How okay, this was banking on, so you're going to mess up. They're not. Apparently, they're going to keep that Batman #1 launch in October. They're keeping that. So
Right.
these books, this volume of Batman is coming out and ending after the new volume starts. Way to go. Great job. I don't know. It's hard for me to bitch about it because we have really been enjoying Hattush, but
Yeah.
it's just bad optics, man. It's
It
bad
sucks that
optics.
like as it's getting better, now it's late.
Now it's late.
Like it
Right.
started off kind of pedestrian, two's better, three's great. Now we're like, oh my God, now here's the build up. And it's like, oh, it's 2 months late. It's like, damn it.
Yeah, there's a couple rumors
He's
here
only
on
he's
there
barely
might
had 20
be some
years to work on
things.
it.
I know. Well, but I feel like, but I think you're right. You theorized that they had to put it out the month of Amazing Spider-Man because they wanted that market share. They want to lose market share to Amazing Spider-Man number one,
Well, well, no,
and that sucks.
Marvel put out Amazing Spider-Man to mess with DC, but DC chose the month. That was all DC's doing.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
Oh, yeah. So I
Yeah,
mean, it's just, but there are a couple projects that don't have homes right now. So there is a Ram V and Jorge Fornes Batman thing. I think it's funny Batman thing. Um, so I don't know, and it says odds are it'd be Detective Comics, but that's not true. Detective Comics kind of has its own person, so it might be a black label.
right.
I don't know. But then there was a it says that Mark Morales posted some artwork saying, "Here's a panel from an upcoming Batman three-parter that I'm inking over the masterful Tony Daniel." Tony Daniel might be fast enough that there could be, if this is a 2 month situation, you could put 3 books out for 2 months. Might not be bad. That might be a good idea. Um, and that's,
Maybe,
pop it right, one, two, three. I don't know. It's
but
goofy. What do
you've already had the solicitations, and you can't send people,
for the numbers? Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's
and the numbers
like,
don't
look,
matter. It's
there's
all garbage.
plenty. I know, but there's, yeah. So then, yeah, are you going to renumber the Hattush? But
Right.
I think that having the Hattush ends when? It ends on a weird number anyway. It's like
Yeah.
162, you know what I mean? Or
Right.
163. So then you'd
Something.
have 166. Doesn't matter. But you're right. Numbers don't matter. Doesn't matter. Here's some print watch stuff. Ron Lim. There's a good Ron Lim variant for Death of the Silver Surfer. I think there's too many words. Like, I mean, there's just like a lot. Bonus digital edition details inside. We know. We got it. We don't need you to tell us that. There's the Tradmore, but this is like new Tradmore. This is post Doctor Strange Tradmore. It's
Yeah.
like, man, I don't like it as much. These are pretty cool looking, but I feel like the Doom. I feel like there's too much design, so I can't see the art.
Yes.
I, and that's by Ben Harvey. So I don't know if they were already the covers, and then this is just another. There's so
Maybe
much
like
trade
Ultimates, maybe they'll
dress.
have like a cover underneath of it, like two covers, or at
Yeah,
least have
and
the
I
same image underneath of it, like on the
yeah,
regular.
there's
Well, it's
your
all the same paper anyway. It's not like the
right.
cover stock's better. So have two covers.
Well, some of them, yeah, some of them have the card stock, and then they'll have the regular cover underneath, and it's cheaper for them to, I believe, do the plate change and do a card. So that's why they're charging you more. They're literally making the comic anyway, and then they're
Yeah.
then they're putting that card stock over, which is fine. Here's a Kara Andrews variant, his 90s style. They're just doing another, I guess, anything. And I guess this is just a Hickman thing, where Hickman can't have variant covers. You're not gonna have extra variant covers of a Miles Morales book. You're just gonna make it a little darker. Wow. Okay. That's so dumb. Um, this is the same cover, but it's not yellow. Okay. I don't think I saw this. But that's pretty cool. Alex
No, that's
Sinclair.
awesome.
And then the variant is without Sinclair. It's interesting that he left room for him. Whilst by Alex Sinclair. Boom. Whilst. Whilst. Um, same thing. See, because you can see the Imperial. I didn't put it up there. So Imperial, like it's a Hickman thing. They're like, hey, we want to reprint Imperial #1. Okay, cool. You want to have one of the cool Hulk images? Nah, just make it gray. All right. Now this drawing, I don't know if this was a variant or this is a third printing, but that's Tom Riley. Great.
It's awesome.
And then last story. I know we're on timeline because we got it. You have to go check it
I have
out.
to go in
Last
like
one, cul-de-sac impale edition. So there's a bad idea. There is I think 36 of these. So it's literally with CGC, putting the book in there, slab it, and they literally have a stake going through it. That's kind of
so
neat. There's no
it,
price on this just yet, but crazy looking. That's it.
it's
Well,
funny.
Rob's jumping off because he has to get us relevant
That's
New
right.
York Comic Con tickets. We're going
We're
on
gonna have the
Friday.
Awestruck Comics booth, so you can come visit us. Just
Correct.
kidding.
No, maybe next year.
If you recognize us, come on up. If there's one of you that's going to New York, come on up. We'll
Oh
give you
shit,
a
we gotta get shirts. We gotta get shirts by then. We gotta make some shit. We gotta get
yeah, sure.
proper
Yeah, man.
logo, and shirts.
Put our
So.
That's right.
All right, check roll into reviews day, and everyone like, share, subscribe. I want to do a subscriber giveaway soon with all my crap that I have. I'll start giving away some of my crap so we
That's
can get our
cool.
subscribers up because we're hitting a lot of other metrics.
We got
But subscribers.
some cool Ultraverse comics to give away, or some
Oh
Comics
yeah.
Greatest World stuff.
Oh, I think I do have it in my basement. I can give you the
What?
VHS copy of Firearm Zero. If you
Wow.
have a VHS player, you can watch a short film that was written by James Robinson. It's not very good. Might be on YouTube as well, but you don't have VHS. Just saying. And I don't want it in my house, so I give it to
Yeah,
you.
it's just taking up space.
Yep. So,
So,
all right, everyone. Have a good
everyone,
one.
we'll see you
Oh,
on
bye-bye.
Reviews Day.